Your mind is the architect of your reality. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, and every belief you hold creates the world you experience. If you constantly focus on limitations, problems, and fears, your brain will search for evidence to support those perceptions. It will filter reality through the lens of your past, reinforcing the same patterns and keeping you trapped in a cycle of repetition. But the moment you change your thoughts, you change the signals your brain sends to your body. Instead of reacting to life, you begin creating it. When you hold a vision of your desired future with clarity and conviction, your mind starts to align with that future. Your brain doesn't distinguish between an actual event and one vividly imagined. It chemically responds to both in the same way. This means that when you repeatedly focus on abundance, confidence, and success, your body begins to believe that reality is already happening. Most people let their environment dictate their thoughts. They wake up, check their phone, remember yesterday's worries, and unconsciously recreate the same emotions and behaviors that shaped their past. But transformation happens when you break that pattern, when you no longer allow external circumstances to control your inner world. Instead of letting old experiences define you, you decide how you want to think and feel regardless of what's happening around you. Your thoughts are the foundation of everything. When you consistently choose thoughts that elevate you, thoughts of gratitude, empowerment, and possibility, you shift your energy, your actions, and ultimately your life. The mind is not just a passive observer of reality, it is the force that shapes it. Change your mind, and your world changes with it. Your personality, how you think, act, and feel, is nothing more than a set of conditioned patterns, repeated so many times that they've become automatic. The way you react to challenges, the emotions you experience daily, even the way you see yourself, these are not fixed traits, but deeply ingrained habits. And if you keep waking up every morning thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions, and making the same choices, you will continue to create the same reality. Most people live in a loop, unknowingly addicted to their past. They define themselves by their history, their traumas, and their limitations. They say, "This is just who I am," as if their personality is unchangeable. But the truth is, your identity is nothing more than a story you've been telling yourself, a collection of past experiences wired into your brain and body. To create a new life, you must break the habit of being the old version of yourself. This means becoming aware of your unconscious patterns. Pay attention to the thoughts that automatically arise when you wake up, the emotions that dictate your behaviors, and the familiar reactions you have in certain situations. These patterns are not who you are, they are just who you have practiced being. The moment you observe them without becoming them, you take back your power. Real transformation requires stepping into the unknown. The old you finds comfort in the familiar, even if that familiarity brings pain, stress, or struggle. But the new you, the version of yourself that is free, abundant, and limitless, exists beyond your current habits. The challenge is that the body will resist this change. It has memorized your old emotional states and will try to pull you back into what feels normal. This is why people sabotage their growth. They crave transformation but remain addicted to their past selves. The key is to consciously think greater than how you feel. Instead of letting old emotions dictate your actions, you must act as if your future self is already here. When you start making decisions from the perspective of the person you want to be rather than the person you've been, you break the habit of being your old self. And when you do this consistently, the mind and body will begin to align with a new reality, one no longer anchored in the past, but fully empowered in the present. Your mind and body do not know the difference between an experience that is real and one that is vividly imagined. When you fully immerse yourself in the emotions of your desired future, your brain and nervous system begin to believe that future is happening now. Most people wait for their circumstances to change before they allow themselves to feel different. They think, once I have success, then I'll feel confident. Once I find love, then I'll feel worthy. Once I have more money, then I'll feel secure. But this is living backwards. The external world does not create your internal state. Your internal state creates your external world. If you want to change your reality, you must first embody the feelings and identity of the person you wish to become. This means feeling confident before the success, feeling abundant before the wealth, feeling loved before the relationship. When you repeatedly practice these elevated emotional states, you are teaching your body to experience a new reality before it physically manifests. The more you feel it, the more you reinforce neural pathways in your brain that align with that future. Over time, this shifts your behaviors, decisions, and energy, drawing that reality toward you. The reason this works is because emotions are the language of the body and beliefs are the language of the mind. When you combine the two, when you believe in your future so deeply that you can feel it in every cell of your being, you create a powerful energetic shift. Your brain begins to rewire itself to recognize this new future as familiar, and your subconscious mind starts working to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. This is not about wishful thinking. It is about aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with a new destiny. If you can wake up every day and truly embody the energy of your future self before the physical evidence appears, then your reality has no choice but to catch up. The universe responds to who you are, not what you want. So who will you choose to be today? Transformation is not a one-time event. It is a practice. Your brain is a complex network of neurons that fire together based on your habitual thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Every time you repeat a thought or action, you strengthen the neural connections associated with it. Over time, these patterns become deeply ingrained, shaping your identity and reality. This is why change feels difficult, because the brain is wired for efficiency, and it prefers to follow the same neural pathways it has always used. But the good news is the brain is malleable. With daily practice, you can rewire it for a new life. Most people wake up and unconsciously reinforce their past. They think the same thoughts, feel the same emotions, and engage in the same behaviors as yesterday, strengthening the same neural pathways that keep them stuck. If you want a new reality, you must interrupt this cycle. You must begin practicing new thoughts, emotions, and habits every single day, until they become second nature. This is not about motivation, it's about conditioning. Just like an athlete trains their body, you must train your mind. One of the most effective ways to do this is through meditation and visualization. When you close your eyes and mentally rehearse your future self, seeing it, feeling it, experiencing it, as if it were already real, you activate the same neural circuits as if you were actually living that experience. Over time, your brain begins to recognize this new version of you as familiar, making it easier to step into that reality. Gratitude is another powerful tool for rewiring the brain. When you practice gratitude daily, not just as a thought, but as a deeply felt emotion, you shift your focus from what is missing to what is abundant. This changes your brain's chemistry, elevating your mood and priming you for more positive experiences. Rewiring the brain also requires action. It's not enough to think differently, you must live differently. Every choice you make is either reinforcing your old self or creating your new self. If you consistently take actions aligned with your desired future, your brain will adapt, and soon those actions will become effortless. The key is consistency. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, but every day you practice new thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, you are reshaping your neural pathways. Eventually, what once felt difficult becomes automatic. Your new mindset, emotions, and habits become your default state, and when that happens, your external world will reflect the internal transformation you have cultivated. Everything in the universe, including you, is made of energy. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, and every action you take carries a specific energetic frequency. When you are in a state of stress, fear, or doubt, your energy is chaotic, disconnected, and draining. You feel heavy, uninspired, and stuck because your body is in survival mode, prioritizing protection over creation. But when you shift your energy, when you cultivate emotions like gratitude, joy, and love, you raise your vibrational state and align yourself with greater possibilities. Mastering your energy is the key to mastering your life. Most people let their external environment dictate their energy. They react to circumstances, allowing people, events, and situations to control how they feel. They give their power away without realizing it. If something goes wrong, they feel frustrated. If someone criticizes them, they feel insecure. If they don't see immediate results, they feel discouraged. This constant reaction to the outer world keeps them trapped in a loop, reinforcing the same emotional states day after day. But real transformation happens when you stop being a victim of your environment and start generating the emotions and energy you want, independent of external conditions. Your emotional state is like a magnet, attracting experiences that match its frequency. If you constantly feel anxious or unworthy, you are sending out a signal that aligns with more situations that reinforce those emotions. But if you consciously choose to feel empowered, grateful, and abundant, even before your external reality changes, you begin drawing new opportunities, people, and circumstances into your life. This is not just a philosophical idea, it is a scientific truth. Your heart and brain emit electromagnetic fields that influence your surroundings, and when you shift your internal state, you change what you attract. One of the most powerful ways to master your energy is through breath work and meditation. When you slow your breath, quiet your mind, and focus on elevated emotions, you create coherence in your energy field. Your body moves out of survival mode and into a state of balance, allowing you to access greater intuition, creativity, and flow. Movement, music, time in nature, and acts of kindness are also ways to elevate your energy and sustain a higher vibration throughout the day. Mastering your energy means taking responsibility for how you show up in the world. It means choosing thoughts that uplift rather than deplete, cultivating emotions that empower rather than weaken, and taking actions that align with your highest self. The more you practice shifting your energy, the more you step into a reality where you are no longer controlled by circumstances. You are creating them. And when you do that consistently, life begins to unfold in ways that once seemed impossible. Thinking about change is not enough. Visualizing your future is not enough. Feeling the emotions of your desired reality is not enough. At some point, you must take inspired action. The key word here is inspired. Not forced, not reactive, but aligned action that flows naturally from the vision of your future self. Most people hesitate when it comes to taking action because they are waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, or the perfect plan. But transformation does not come from waiting. It comes from movement. Inspired action is different from routine action. Routine action is doing what you've always done, often out of habit, obligation, or fear. It is checking things off a to-do list, going through the motions, and staying within the boundaries of what feels familiar. Inspired action, on the other hand, is when you move from a place of excitement, alignment, and inner knowing. It feels expansive, energizing, and purposeful. It might be uncomfortable because it pushes you beyond your comfort zone, but it also feels undeniably right. To take inspired action, you must first become clear on the person you are becoming. What does your future self do differently? How do they think, speak, and behave? When you make decisions from that mindset, you begin to align with a new reality. Instead of acting from your past programming where fear, doubt, and hesitation dominate, you act from a place of certainty and trust. Fear will still arise, but fear is not a signal to stop. It is a sign that you are stepping into the unknown, which is exactly where growth happens. The difference between those who transform their lives and those who stay stuck is the willingness to act despite uncertainty. The longer you wait, the more your mind will create reasons to delay, to overthink, to stay in the safety of the familiar. But the moment you take even one small step toward your vision, momentum begins to build. Taking inspired action also requires deep trust in the process. You do not need to know every detail of how things will unfold. You only need to take the next step. The path will reveal itself as you move forward. Each action you take sends a powerful signal to your brain, your body, and the universe that you are ready for the next level. And as you continue to act from this place of alignment, opportunities, resources, and synchronicities will appear that once seemed out of reach. There is no transformation without action. You cannot think your way into a new reality. You must live your way into it. So stop waiting, stop hesitating, step forward as the person you are becoming, and watch as life begins to shift around you in ways you never imagined possible. 5 steps to transform your life. Start now. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, in this very moment, you have the power to change everything. Your past does not define you. Your circumstances do not limit you. The only thing standing between you and the life you desire is your willingness to become someone new. You've learned that your mind creates your reality, what you think you become. You've understood that to change, you must break the habit of being your old self, stepping beyond the familiar and into the unknown. You've discovered that by embodying the future before it arrives, you align your energy with your desired destiny. You've realized that transformation is not an accident, but a daily practice of rewiring your brain for success, joy, and abundance. And above all, you now know that nothing happens without movement. You must take inspired action to bring your vision to life. But here's the truth. Nothing I've said matters unless you decide right now to step into your new self. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because every time you put off change, you reinforce the old version of you, the version that hesitates, that waits for permission, that doubts its own power. But the moment you choose differently, the moment you think, feel, and act in alignment with your future self, you send a new signal to the universe. You declare, I am ready. So ask yourself, who do you want to be? What kind of life do you want to create? And more importantly, what will you do today, this very moment, to make that vision a reality? You are not here to repeat your past. You are here to create something extraordinary. The power is in your hands. The question is, are you ready to use it?